Okay, tonight we're going to work on this part, the buds, and this part here if we have time. So I have here Sap Green, Burnt Umber, Cadmium Yellow Light, and Titanium White. I'm going to be using three, maybe three or maybe two. I'll see which one I need, but usually I use a big one and then a smaller one for detail. So they're not too big, but they're big enough to hold enough paint in there. Dip my brush in water, and I'm going to start with this one right there, this one. So I have the base color, which was, I think it was, and I'm sure it is, it is Sap Green and Burnt Umber. And now I'm going to take Sap Green and a bit of Burnt Umber to get that olive color. Now I'm going to start adding yellow, and that at this point I can tell if this is the right color. So when I add yellow, it's like when you mix two colors together and then you add white to see especially if the two colors are dark, like Sap Green and Burnt Umber. It's very hard to figure out if it's the right color unless you add a highlight to it, like something to highlight it, white or yellow. In this case, we're going to add yellow. And at this point, I can tell if it is the right color or no. I think it is a little bit more yellow. I highlight slowly. Like I highlight really slowly. I don't add the white right away. I test and see. It's almost the same color, so it's not highlighted enough. I'm going to take white, add it in. Start with the top. And it's kind of like a medium tone right now. And you can see I'm stopping right here because the bottom part is darker.
Can you zoom in a little bit more?
Sure.
Thanks.
Is this good? Is this good? Okay. All right. I'm going to take a little bit more white at this point because I have put the right kind of amount or the right color. I'm going to take a bit of yellow in that too as well. So white and yellow because I can see yellow in there. And I will highlight a little bit more later on. Now the bottom part is darker right here. So I can keep it that way by using Sap Green and Burnt Umber and a little bit of yellow because it's not very dark. maybe a little bit more of darks. And it's okay. I mean, if it goes too dark, then I can soften it by adding a little bit more of the highlights. All right, so a little bit more yellow. I'm just adjusting. I'm adjusting the values right now. And you know, with acrylics, you have to wait for it to dry so we can gauge how much we need to go lighter or darker. Now I'm going to leave this alone now, the bottom part. And I'm going to use a little bit more lighter color here. Same here. And let's put this in water. I'm going to increase the amount of white in the green. More white. But not too white, because I need to leave a little bit for this part inside. There's a whitish part inside, green, light green inside between these two. So I'm going to do this. It's all about kind of very subtle change of values. All right, good. Let's put a bit of more yellow in the green and come here. All of this can be adjusted after as well. I mean, meaning I will adjust the shape, because sometimes I lose the shape, and that all of this can be adjusted after if I want. But I will try right now to remove a bit from here, because it's getting a little bit bigger and bigger every time. And eventually, once I work on the background, I'll make sure that I reshape some of the details. Okay. The paint is drying darker, so I'm going to adjust now some of the highlights. think it's good enough for now. Let it sit and dry so we can see if we need to adjust anything. Again, we'll move on to the one next to it, the small little whitish here, whitish greenish one. Next to it, in front of it, that's kind of a whitish green, and more yellow in here. Now, that's enough for this one. I will again wait for it to dry because it's going to dry darker. Meanwhile, I'm going to move on, and I'll stop in a minute so you can catch up. Right here, more yellow, very soft, kind of medium tone, and I'm going to come here and try to highlight this part. This is really yellow. This part right here is very yellow. It's beautiful. I need a little bit of black. For negative painting. Okay. Let's put a bit of kind of a little bit of a line in here in whatever you have, burnt umber and green. Very interesting buds. All right, I'm going to stop for a minute and then we'll continue. All right, let's do the second one next to it. This one here, right there. All right, so we're going to start with the top part, and I see that it has more kind of a whitish green. So I'm just going to take white into the green, same green I've been using. And the base color of this green is sap green and burnt umber. And then I add yellow, cadmium yellow light to it. And then I add white. That's it. So I'm going to start with the part that is very light. And I'm just going to go down, then a little bit here. And then I see there's a little kind of a whitish, a little bit of a white part right there. It's not, when I say white, it's not really white. It's white with green, of course. And make it a little bit. I'm bringing in a tiny bit of burnt umber with the green that I'm using right there. I'm just going to do this part. Base color, sap green, burnt umber, cadmium yellow light, more cadmium yellow light, in this case right here. So when I do this and I cannot see the yellow green that I'm trying to put in there, if I can't see it, then instead I will add a bit of yellow right now to the green. But if I add too much yellow to the green, it becomes just yellow. So in order for me to see this part that I'm painting right now, because what's happening is just it's blending with the one in the back, with the background. I'm going to take more white, some white, push it into this greenish mixture, and come here and do this again. Try to negative painting, some negative painting here. Because I do need to see what's happening here, like those leaves are overlapping, and then I can go back and fix some of the shape. But as long as I can see them, then I can fix them. Going down in here, I will have to make the white a little bit darker. But for now, I'm going to go back and adjust the shape of the leaf. This way, I can paint my highlight. All right, I can see it now. So I'm going to go in. And then I can adjust the values. Okay. Very tricky part. Okay. give it a bit of texture, just a bit of couple of a bit of lines, a couple of lines, and highlighting it. Take white with green, come here and give the side of this one here, side of this one. And if I need to go with white only, I would do that to get the, I'll do it right now, actually. There. I'm going to highlight this part right here of the stem very softly. Just add yellow to the mixture, but make sure that you're adding the highlight in the right place. So you see the stem, you can't really see the back right there because it's hidden by by the bulb itself. And I'm going to highlight this one here, this part. Typically I leave it to dry a bit, but I'm going to add a bit of highlight in there right now. All right, I'm going to pause for a minute. All right, let's move on to the third one. Same colors. And then I'm going to add yellow. And let's start highlighting this one. Bit of white now in the green. Okay. I'm not going to go into too much detail in here. It's in the kind of a back down. So I'm just going to give this a bit of shape and let it go. Okay. It's good enough. It is not it's not a big one. It's not something that's like a focal point, so we don't have to work on it too much. All right. While I'm doing this, I'm going to take some green with brown and a little bit of either yellow or white, a little bit, not much. So I could see, I just want to paint this part, those stems that are sitting in the dark. And let it dry. And if I find that they're still showing too much, I can just push them back by darkening them more, or just leave them. Okay, let's cover this a bit. Now this is going to be a bit of a, we're going to simplify this part. There's too much happening here. Did you want me to stop or
No,
keep going?
Keep going.
Okay. Okay, now let's highlight this part. I'll take again the same combination, sap green, yellow, burnt umber, and yellow ochre. Not yellow ochre, cadmium yellow light. What am I talking about? All right. Okay, let's highlight slowly. Actually, this part here, I'm going to highlight right now. I can see a little bit of yellow ochre, so we might need to get some yellow ochre in here. So this is darker than the one in the back, that one here. So I'm going to darken it a bit. Otherwise we won't see it. And then I will put a bit of a kind of detail on it. Okay, I'm going to highlight the one in front, the really, really highlighted one. So I'm taking white and I'm putting it in the green yellow that I have. This will help me, it will help with my highlighting the one in the back. So if I highlight the strong one in the front, I will know how much I need to go in terms of value for the one in the back. Take some of the yellow in here that has green and highlight the tip of this one. Again, a little bit more highlight in here. Again, some green, some yellow, I'm sorry, yellow in the green. I'm adding burnt umber to this yellow, light yellow. That would give me a really nice earthy green. All right, let's highlight, adjust the shape a bit of the one that is highlighted, strong highlight. So these two stick like they're together, kind of close to each other. This one here, and is it one or two? Doesn't matter, right? Let's do that. And also this one. And this one. All right, let's go back, because now the ones underneath are dry, so I can highlight them a little bit more or put some detail. Oh, jeez. All right. Some detail around the leaf with white and yellow. Oh, jeez. Okay. Let's go in and add some detail, a little bit of detail on this one here in the back with Sap Green and burnt umber. Good. All right. There's one in the back as well. One right here that is really highlighted. Not as much as the one on top of it, but you can see it right there. Right there. Okay, we're kind of getting there. Okay. Again, a little bit of detail with highlighting the edge. Okay. Now, the more we go down, the darker the flowers, or the leaves. So I see a lot of kind of different details in there, like, so I'm going to simplify what I'm seeing. There's one that comes out this way. And also inside, there are some overlapping leaves, which I'm going to do very simple. Give a hint. This one. And also, let's do a little bit more yellowish, lighter highlight on this.
Go on the line. Mm-hmm. No? Yeah, I'm going to stop soon. My neck's bothering me.
All right, so now let's give this right here a little bit of dark. There are two leaves overlapping here. We don't need to do that. We don't need to show the detail, because by the time we put the flowers, honestly, we're not going to see any of this. This is just secondary. Okay. This should be darker. So I'm just gonna take some burnt sienna. I'm sorry. Where did burnt sienna come from now? Sap green and burnt umber, and just darken this one in the back. Also, I'm gonna take a tiny bit of. I have black here, just a tiny bit of black, and I'm gonna go in between. Here, I'm gonna do it with kind of sap green and black. And I'm going to go in and then give a little bit of a small detail here and there. Open up like negative painting. And some here. Also a little bit kind of in here. Because this, when we're doing this, what we're doing is that we're separating some of these leaves so they're not overlapping too much. And what I'm going to do is take some of this black with the, of course, sap green, wipe my brush, and I'm going to give some of the leaves a bit of a darker, the ones that are in, a little bit of a darker shade. This is ivory black. I'm going to kind of glaze. See this right here is like, they're connected right here. So I'm going to push this back. I'm just going to give this, the paint is kind of it's not too thick. It's like a glaze. So I'm pushing some of the leaves down there inside. And that looks like the leaves are casting shadows over each part of each other. Of course, acrylic dries darker, so I'm always adjusting the value and the paint also, the color, I mean. A little bit more. And let's take a kind of a yellowish, greenish color on my paint, on my brush, and give a little bit of a detail in here for the one in the back. And also, let's highlight again with Sap Green and Cadmium Yellow Light. This one here. And give this one here on the side. This is all just detail right now, just a little bit of detail here and there. Some of them are like see-through. You can see the light going through them. All right, I'm going to stop in a minute.
Very, very light leaves. White and yellow.
Yes.
White and
What the very light ones over here?
Yes.
They are. They do have a bit of green in them too.
Yeah.
I'm going to highlight this one a little bit more because it's very hard to do the kind of get this detail in there. So I'm just going to highlight it with yellow and green and a bit of burnt umber in there. All right. It's a light green, actually, Futini.
It's a light green, huh?
Yeah. This one in the front needs a bit of highlighting in here. Some yellow. Let's see, and maybe add a bit of white to this yellow and give this one here an edge, a lighter edge, a couple of movement.
Leo?
You're going to go?
I'm going to love you and leave you. I've been painting for hours and hours today. So.
All right, I'm going to pause for a minute and then we'll say goodnight. All right, so now I'm seeing right here, I'm going to use a bit of yellow and burnt umber and give this part a little bit of that kind of a glaze, a bit of brown in here, that burnt umber that it's in there. Now, Also, I took burnt umber, yellow, and I put a stem right here, down here. And I'm going to put another one, not because I want to kind of put a lot of detail, just that brown will break all of that soft brown will break all of this green in here happening right there. And also, I think I'm okay down here. Yes. Yes. Some cleaning up down at the bottom part. The bottom part right here. It doesn't matter what what we're putting in here. It doesn't have to be a specific color, and we don't have to follow exactly what we're seeing. I'm just going to put a bit of light green in here, just so we can see the stem a bit more. And also, see, like, because I did this, I can see the stem. I'm wetting my brush and come here and put some green. Again, a bit of black. Enhance a bit this dark in there, just to open up a little bit in between the flowers. So in the back, there's nothing like this. It's something is happening, but I'm not putting a lot of detail. Right here with the black. I mean, if you want, put some sap green on your black. I'm gonna do that. Actually, the black I have here has sap green in it already, the one I'm using. But I'm making it kind of watery a bit, so the brush flows better, moves better. Some shadows here and there. Just because I want to push some of those, show the ones on top. So when I darken a little bit down and behind them, when I darken that, I can see the ones on top better. Also, I'm gonna just kind of give this one here a little bit of, I have black and sap green, and also it's not, my color, my paint is not thick. It's more like I'm glazing right now. Adjusting my values a bit, the values on this one here. Okay, and I'm going to change the shape a bit by using brown in the back here. This one here, just kind of a bit of a brown in there. Let's darken this a bit more. This brown, darken it a tiny bit. Okay, I changed the shape of the leaf by using by painting the background. Negative painting. Okay, it's good. I'm gonna leave it.
Very nice.
Thank you. Oh, I'm gonna darken a little bit those ones here. So black and a bit of green, and it's like a glaze. It's not thick. It's not thick paint because we don't want to. We're not trying to cover them. We just want to push them back and darken them, but we still want to see them. There. Okay, perfect.
Very nice.
We're done. Thank you. Done for this week. So I'm going to.
Is this recording, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is how it looks.
Very nice.
Thank you. I'm gonna. So next week we'll work on the green on this side, on the left,
Yeah.
on the right side. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.